Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Brigade of Flames, chapter 123. Yesterday, though technically last week in Japan, but it came out yesterday in English, we we wrapped up the China arc, with a whole bunch of new theories on what the hell is going on, who the preacher is. The preacher, is there a civilization in Adora? I brought this all up literally yesterday. So yeah, and then we're moving into a new arc because the gang left China, said goodbye to Shop and Beauty. Shop said that he would train and train and train, and if he ever needed help, he would call on Shinra, so they're still going to be around, I imagine, just not anytime soon. So yeah, let's jump right into chapter 123, A Threatening Shadow. I have a picture of Shinra in a hoodie for a cover page. Let's relax in a hot bath after exhausting the body in the games room. So yeah, a whole bunch of stuff happened last week, a little previously by. So we open with Hiro Hashirame, nude and surrounded by, tendrils of flame. What a way to open a chapter. And Shinra's also nude, or at least from, the shoulder up, and looking at her. And Hiro Hashirame is just, staring, blankly at the ceiling. The first pillar. Are you inside the Amaterasu? No. You are the Amaterasu? Okay, that's new. That's some new information. So, I'm not entirely sure how she's the Amaterasu. Is she just, the power source, or is she, I don't know. Port of Kodaira, Tokyo Empire. So, yeah, we just got back to Tokyo. And Shinra was, dazing off to sleep. Shinra, we returned to Tokyo. Grab your stuff. Okay. And he puts his coat on. That woman still appears in my dreams. And then Tamaki and Takaru were talking. How did your parents take it? Pretty well. I told them about Shop. Oh, right, because Shop was, stealing their potatoes way back when. And when we got to the oasis, we figured out what was destroying the potato fields. It won't be a problem anymore. I wish I could give you more potatoes for all your hard work. I think Takaru has plenty of potatoes. And Panda's just, blowing his whistle as he walks for some reason. I wish we explode more. The gas was fun, though. I'm glad you spoke to your parents. Yeah, and the potatoes are now safe. So everyone's kind of, casually talking, and Shinra is still just, thinking to himself. The woman I saw in my dreams. She looked like she was standing in a large fire, so hot it was evaporating her tears. And then Shinra sees her looking at him with crazy concentric circle eyes, like Rinnegan but not quite. Amaterasu. And Shinra's just calling her the Amaterasu. What the hell could she be? If there's really someone inside the Amaterasu, the teachings found in the Church of the Sun's sacred writings, the ones that guide the Tokyo Empire, they contradict each other. Remember the prologue? Long ago, the human race was touched by the wrath of a star. Now we're actually getting into the church's sacred texts. Long ago, the human race was touched by the wrath of a star, and the world we had was erased by fire. That was the day of the great disaster. The fury of the flames burned the lands of the humans. Everything was on fire, without stopping, destroying all the culture that had been previously built. Chapter 1, The Sacred Flame. But out of those ashes came a man, Raffles the First. Raffles began a journey with his apostles in search of light. At the end of their journey, Raffles encountered the flame without impurities, which would bring the light that would save the human race. There's not a lot to this religion. Each chapter is literally 2 sentences long. Chapter 2, Amaterasu. Raffles and his apostles, with the technology developed by the human race, created Amaterasu. Right, because if the Amaterasu is a human, then that won't work. Sacred flame of Amaterasu bathed the lives of people with the light, serving as the foundation for this country in the Far East. And then Shinra's wandering the streets of Tokyo now. I don't know if it's the same day on their way back to the 8th or sometime later, but he hears over the loudspeaker, today Amaterasu is operating at a normal rate. Yeah, I think it is the same day, because we see Arthur and Victor in the bottom of the panel. This is all thanks to Amaterasu being developed here. But if it was the preacher who gave us Amaterasu, even the Adora burst. If the preacher created this nation, why would she want to destroy it now? I really think the Church of the Sun is hiding something. We'll report this when we get to the 8th. And now they're back at the Company 8 church. Scroll back up. Our investigation confirms there are humans inside Amaterasu. Therefore, we believe that the sacred scripture of the Church of the Sun is wrong. Everyone knows what the Church of the Holy Scripture says. Are you saying it's founded on a lie? Of course it is. It doesn't say that my family were the ones who created Amaterasu. Oh, yeah, I guess Vulcan would not really be a fan of the Church in that case. But having people inside the Amaterasu, what did my ancestors end up getting involved in? False teachings. So there is a possibility the preacher and the Church of the Sun are related somehow. Oh, what if the preacher, is, the true head of the church? And that's why, they say that the netherworld was cut off because of, it's untouched by the sun. But what if people weren't allowed to go in there just because the preacher was there? Or the White Hoods in general were there? And Iris, who is a nun of the church, is understandably very upset by this. I'm actually upset I did not really think about last week. Iris, are you okay? A woman has been sacrificed for this nation. I know we here in the Church of the Sun don't want to believe this. Do you seriously think the church is evil? We're not saying that. It's true that our lives have been improved by the Church of the Sun. I too am grateful for the Sun God's divine protection. Thank you. I have to find the truth, for the sake of the sister's faith. So yeah, Iris quickly recovers from her, crisis of confidence. Right there. And Victor's, plugging away on a laptop, examining the numbers that he found in the Shintai. That's it. Just like Arthur said. The numbers in that Shintai match Pi's sequence. But what is the relation between Pi and Amaterasu? The Church of the Sun's sacred scriptures are a farce. So this country was all planned. Wait. Country was all planned. Is this gonna go full metal? Because that's the last time a country was planned from the beginning, was fucking the Mistress. And what's gonna happen? Alright. What we learned here will shake up the entire Tokyo Empire. I know. Which is, this is a flashback. For some reason I was reading this in Victor's voice, but that is Ogun. What we learned here will shake up the entire Tokyo Empire. I know. Which is why we need to be discreet. Sorry to disappoint, but this country won't change. They'll erase this information, and that's that. Such a cynic, Victor. The most a firefighter can do. And he, opens the window and, leans out it. Guess it's my turn to get wild now. And he, grins and slams the window shut. Okay, what are you up to, Victor? Then we cut to Asakusa, and Benimaru's back. My boy. What you said is dangerous. Are you saying you're going to visit the Church of the Sun? Interested? You're not very sincere. Who are you, anyway? Oh, is this gonna be Joker? I'm a dark hero. It's Joker! Oh, shit. Aren't you suspicious of what the Church of the Sun could be hiding? You're already a suspicious person. But you're also intriguing. Benimaru and Joker meet, and they see Tokyo as the enemy. To be continued in chapter 124, The Dark Hero. Alright, now we're kicking things into high gear. The whole, backstory of, the Great Disaster and what's true and what's not true is still, really confusing. And honestly, I just want it kind of, explained neatly. I get the whole thing is, that no one really knows what happens, that the church is keeping things under wraps, so of course things are starting to contradict each other. But a couple things this chapter didn't quite sell it for me. Iris's whole, this should be, shattering her worldview, and she's really timid about it. So honestly, that didn't quite work. I feel like Iris should be, honestly, she should be, opposed, or at least, freaking out, because her entire life was, dedicated to the church, and now they're yeah, but the church is fucking lying. And also, Vulcan's, Vulcan knowing the church has been lying the whole time, just kind of makes the whole thing seem a little less important, I guess. Because, it was, this big revelation. They're yeah, everything we know was a lie. And then Vulcan's yeah, of course it was a lie. My family built the Amaterasu, and the church said they didn't. And that's obviously a lie. So kind of I wish the church had credited Vulcan's family. I feel like that would have made the reveal that the church is lying in some way a lot more impactful. Other than yeah, they're lying about a bunch of things. Why would this be any different? But the things that were really fucking good, Victor is up to something, and I really want to know what. Because Victor has just kind of been sitting around in the background. He was teased to be this big spy 70 chapters ago. And finally, we're gonna get some fucking development with Victor and what he and Joker are actually after. And then Benimaru and Joker are teaming up. And, like, holy shit. Benimaru and Joker are, like, two of my favorite fucking characters in this show. And wow. Just a team up between the two of them. I am so hyped. Just to see what the hell, like, they get up to. Like, I don't know what they're after. I know that they're, like, I imagine Victor told Joker everything they found out in China. I imagine that's why... That's what Joker knows. Because I don't... Like, Victor's confusion during the China arc seemed genuine. Especially because, like, we spend a lot of time in Victor's thoughts specifically. Like, it's about Shinra... I don't know. The only person we spend more time inside their thoughts with than Victor is, like, Shinra. And apart from that, it's, like, we see a lot of, like, what Victor's thinking. Just because he knows so much more than anyone else, I guess. But yeah. Benimaru and Joker, I'm assuming, I don't think Victor would, like, hide really any of the information they found out in China from Joker, given that Joker seems to be his boss. But wasn't Victor also at Hajime Industries, I remember, right? I feel like that happened. Yeah, I feel like that was a thing that, like, I don't know. Yeah, Victor Licht is part of Hajime's research on the wiki. So I don't know if they've said that Joker is working with. I know Hajime was big in the 3rd Brigade. And I guess Victor's just spying on so many organizations, I guess. Like, part of, you know, Hajime, and then, you know, he's suspicious. He's, like, also with the 8th Brigade. I don't know. There's just a lot going on with Joker, and honestly, I love Joker. I love Joker so much. Joker and Victor are, like, two of my faves. But yeah, there's just a lot going on right now. And I really don't know what's gonna happen next. Like, honestly... I don't think this is going to happen, but it might. Like, I can see this, like, ramping up for an ending soon. Like, you know, we see one of those, like, how deep everything goes. And, like, I feel like we're really moving on to, like, at least the end of this first, like, story of the Preacher. You know, all the the only people who aren't really going to be involved in this conflict of the Church and the Sun and the Preacher is, like, Hibana? Is, like, not really involved yet, but though I highly imagine she will be. When, you know, the 8th Brigade and Benimaru and Joker's new team up, make their move on Tokyo. You know, who fucking knows where this is going to go from now. We might be ramping up for an ending. I hope not, because I'm really loving the series, in case you could not tell from the last, like, year or so of how much better this series has gotten in the past, like, year and a half. But yeah, I really fucking cannot wait to see what happens next. This chapter itself was mostly, like, one part, like, kind of like a denouement and, like, a debriefing of the last arc. Just to, like, make sure we really know where the cards are stacked right now. But those last, like, 5 pages, shit, Victor's gonna do something. A Joker and Benimaru team up. I cannot wait for next week with 124. The Dark Hero, which is what Joker just called himself. So, you know, we're getting a lot more Joker and Benimaru next week. I can't wait. I'm really fucking hyped for this next chapter. But that's really all there is to say about this week's chapter. I honestly rambled on a fair bit at the end there. So I hope you all enjoyed this video and the chapter. If you did, you can drop me a like, subscribe, whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. And as always, people, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you in the future. Bye.